CNN's Jake Tapper is the host of The Lead every day at 4 p.m. on the cable news network known as CNN, but he is also the host of State of the Union every Sunday. That is must-watch television for anyone following the 2016 campaign, and this Sunday is no exception. Donald Trump, live from Iowa. Hey, Jake, you on your way to the, what is the Iowa again? It's the Buckeye State. Yeah, you on your way to the Buckeye State?
That would be Ohio. Ohio's the Buckeye State.
Hawkeye State.
The
Hawkeye State.
I'm not on my way yet. I will be. I'm really looking forward to it. Obviously, Donald Trump. This is crunch time, and Iowa is where everything is crunching. So I can't wait.
Yeah, what do you make of the story that won't go away for Ted Cruz? You brought it up when you had Cruz on last Sunday, the question of his natural-born citizenship and whether he is eligible to be president per the Constitution. He had good answers for you, but it's still lingering. Is this the Trump campaign that's keeping it lingering, or is it the media? Washington Post seems to love the story.
Well, I mean, I think there are two things keeping it lingering. One is obviously Donald Trump is doing everything he can to put it into the political bloodstream and to inject it into the political bloodstream and he's doing it in a very interesting way where he pretends he's just raising it as something Democrats are going to bring up, and it's a shame. And poor Ted, he needs to be resolved. Not that he's raising it.
Yeah, he's not raising it all, right?
No, not at all. So that's interesting. And then the other thing is just as a constitutional matter, it is not settled law. I mean, just as a fact, it's not settled law. Now, most legal experts say that this would not be an issue and Ted Cruz would be found ultimately to be constitutionally eligible. But there has not been some test case that has gone all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court. And I might observe that using the Ted Cruz definition of natural-born citizen, which is one, again, that most legal experts agree with, even if Barack Obama had been born in Kenya, which he was not, but even if he had been, then he would fit the definition of natural-born citizen, according to this Cruz definition. Just a side note.
All right, so Nikki Haley coming under some fire for the comments that she made during her response to the President's State of the Union address. Many people thought it was a slam at Trump. What do you think about that?
Well, I think without question it was a slam at Trump, and I think she's acknowledged that in subsequent speeches and comments. But look, I'm not going to offer an opinion about it. I certainly understand that there are conservatives out there, Trump supporters, who think that's not an appropriate thing for the Republican response, the Republican respondent to the State of the Union to be doing, to be bashing the Republican Party itself. Like, this is an opportunity for the Republican Party to be presenting its own vision. That said, I also know that there are a lot of Republicans, especially in Washington, D.C., who are very worried and upset about comments being made by, especially Donald Trump, about Muslims and Latinos and others, and they want to present a view of conservatism that is more Nikki Haley-esque, meaning more young and inclusive and diverse and welcoming, and not what people are hearing.
But let me ask this, Jake. I mean, those kind of those when you give the official response, I would imagine that these comments get vetted at least the the chairman of the RNC level, don't they?
I don't know about the chairman of the RNC level, but my understanding is that both Speaker Ryan and Leader McConnell's offices saw the comments, and with the exception of some grammatical changes, had no suggestions for things to be taken out or put in. It's the Republican officials on Congress are the ones, I believe, who picks the person to respond. And my understanding is that both Ryan and McConnell signed off on it. And look, to be honest, I mean, Nikki Haley was one of the public officials to most strongly speak out against Donald Trump's proposed ban on Muslims entering the U.S. In any part. I mean, she called it unconstitutional. She said it was just plain wrong. So that was in December. The idea that Ryan and McConnell didn't know what they were going to get is one that I don't think passes a laugh test.
So, Jake, that debate that you moderated so well back in Simi Valley in September, boy, it seems like a long time ago, doesn't it?
Sure does.
That debate, you had Donald Trump and Jeb Bush center stage there, because that's where they were ranked. Tonight, there will be a debate, and on the outskirts will be John Kasich, and I think Jeb Bush is in the 5th position.
Yeah.
What do you and they are considered sort of the establishment candidates at this point. What do you make of how things have turned, and now you're going to have Ted Cruz and Donald Trump in the center of the debate stage?
Right, although Marco Rubio will be on the other flank of Donald Trump, and I think to a degree Rubio is seen as an establishment candidate, although not to the degree that Bush and Kasich were. I mean, it's just fascinating to watch, not just the jockeying around Donald Trump and the pinball-like quality. Poor Rand Paul won't even be there tonight.
Yeah.
But also just the fact that the consistent leadership in the polls of Donald Trump. I mean, it is. I've been saying for months to you guys. You've heard me say this a million times. I just don't see any evidence that he will not be the nominee. I just don't see any evidence that he can be stopped, that he's not going to be the winner of the plurality of votes, and that there's anyone who can touch him. Now, Ted Cruz might beat him in Iowa, and we'll see what happens after that. But he remains the leader in the polls everywhere else, nationally and New Hampshire, South Carolina, Nevada, and so on. On the other hand, I think that the Democratic race, I think it's questionable whether or not Hillary Clinton is even the front runner anymore. She is behind in Iowa, behind in New Hampshire, and she leads nationally, but only by single digits over Bernie Sanders. So that's one where I think that it's not. She has not been as consistently in the lead as Mr. Trump.
All right, we're going to have to leave it right there, Jake.
Yeah, don't forget Donald Trump. You just heard Jake Tapper say no evidence to suggest that he won't be the nominee for the Republicans. Well, he'll be sitting with Jake this Sunday on State of the Union. Jake, have a great trip to Iowa.
Thank you.